Namaste. Welcome to the class number 16. This is Sura Saraswati Sabha, Turiya level, second paper, Anuvada Pradeepa, part 2. Today we are going to learn about Vibhakti Viparyaya, part 1. Let us begin with Prarthana. Gurureva gatihi, Gurumeva bhaje, गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्. Vibhakti Viparyaya is the lesson you have got. We are going to do 3 lessons on the same topic. This is part 1, next is part 2, part 3. Part 3 will be exercises. 2 parts will be explanations for the Vibhaktis. What I have chosen is 2 kinds in this. Something I will explain and the rest of the things we will follow from the apte composition. I have many lessons and concepts developed on the rupas, the Vibhakti rupas, etc. But I didn't make any preparation on the any personal slides kind of thing over the Karaka Prakarana ideas because they are all so very grammatical and so very based into the sutras that it is easier doing that directly than going to any secondary sources. But even if we go to secondary sources, we have like somebody like Apte who has worked it out wonderfully well, all the points of the Karaka. There's one more book called Karaka Tatvanushilan by Umashankar Sharma Rushi, which has given me a lot of insights into the Karaka theory. Those who know Hindi can avail that book. It's very easily available in the internet. All scans are available. So Apte composition is also available. Apte's book is something that we started from like our bachelor's level. I've been reading that book at different levels of my education. It has been like fulfilling my needs from time to time very easily, very systematically. Most of the points that he makes are very unique. Apte's knowledge of this this kind of expression, this kind of presentation comes from his previous knowledge of other languages. He is a Marathi person. He knows Sanskrit, he knows Hindi, he knows like English and Latin and some other languages as well. So with that, he has a very good grasp over how to present some language aspect. This is very important. When you grow up, when you are like growing up with a language, you have to take care of so many aspects that maybe your language doesn't have all the features. So you need to go to other languages. This is it. So this is a kind of a new aspect then. We have to like take care. We didn't come across this before. Such kind of feelings come. Like in Hindi, if we talk, like, okay, when we come to, like, I'll start with an example. Now we are entering into topic. Okay, so this is class number 16 and lesson number 8, 8A. Okay, so the first thing in Hindi we say, in English we say, I want this. I know this. So and so thing, whatever. Very simple sentence. I want this. How do you say it in Hindi? मुझे यह चाहिए और मुझको यह चाहिए या फिर मैं ये चाहता हूं, मैं ये चाहती हूं. Okay, like this we have different options. In Telugu, I say Naku kavali, Naku telusu. Okay, in English I said I. So when you parse such a sentence, parsing means when you add the grammatical details of the sentence to tell the machine, I understand it as a human being Whatever I am calling I in the English, I am saying मुझे. ठीक है, मुझे यह नहीं करना है. ठीक है, मुझको यह पता है. So when I am saying this, मुझको, if I take the को as a vibhakti marker of the द्वितीया विभक्ति, राम को बुलाओ, राम को. So in that बुलाओ, so who is the object of बुलाओ? राम. कौन कौन बुला कौन रहा? बुलाओ का कर्ता कौन है? Somebody else, we do not know. Somebody in front, maybe a little boy, maybe a little girl, we don't know. We are talking to someone. We said Ram ko bulao. Then ko is the object marker. That is karma, Vidya Vibhakti. Then when I say mujhko pata hai, then the machine will think yahan bhi ko hai, wahan bhi ko hai. So ko is a Vidya Vibhakti. So it will conclude it as mujhko. ठीक है? मेरे लिए यह करना कठिन है. मेरे लिए यह करना. So such kind of sentences are totally very like turned over sentences where the vibhaktis are, उसका तो धज्जियां उड़ गई. विभक्ति पता नहीं कहाँ चले गए. यार कर्ता के अर्थ में क्या क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पर? मुझे पता है, इन दैट मुझे इस कर्ता, मैं इस कर्ता, मैं जानता हूं, मुझे पता है. बोथ आर सेम. So some such kinds of constructions are allowed in the languages. Maybe that is not allowed in Nannu Telusu is not right in Telugu. If I try to imitate, I try to do the true translation. Something called makki ki makki, makki ki makki. Okay, so that story is very interesting, but I don't want to go into many stories during the lesson. Very serious. Okay, in the true translations, if I do, that's why jankar karo. Whatever you are doing, please know it, understand it, and then do it. That's what elders tell us. This is where the vibhakti becomes a very, very interesting topic to deal with. Okay, मुझको पता है, मैं जानता हूं. Okay, then coming to Telugu, when we say naku telusu, kinkun yokka lon lopalan is the shashti vibhakti. Naku, kinkun, the ku will represent the shashti vibhakti. When I am saying naku telusu, the telusu or nenu telusukunnanu, nenu erugudunu, eruguta is a very good verb which we are not using these days. Nenu erugudunu, I know it. Okay. Then I am aware of it. I am aware, I know. I am aware. Why don't say I am no? Think. I am aware. I am no, K-N-O-W. We don't say that. It's very unidiomatic. It's very like wrong. Hey, what are you saying? English person will become very red. To make him feel angry, you can say that. Okay. So these are the vibhakti areas which I try to give you with a simple example where the karta, I'm only talking of karta here. The karta has taken different vibhaktis. Okay. So this is where vibhakti study becomes very, very interesting and very, very important aspect of study. Even in Sanskrit we study, I think Sanskrit is the language where we have that idea very clearly explained. Not that I have exhausted all the languages, not that I have exhausted all the grammars, everything, no. But Sanskrit has already quenched my thirst, fulfilled my necessity of learning about the Karaka so simply, so easily. The theory of Karaka is so deeply poised, deeply like placed in Sanskritam, that the balance, the with which it is presented, the aspects that it covers, the vast expanse of the subject, the depth of it really touches our brains, not hearts. This is not a heart place, this is a brain place. I mean, the aspect for a brain, not heart. So now let us try to learn several aspects about Vibhakti and Karaka. Again, I will make my concession. So no, not concession. What is called confession. Confession point that your book gives, the Anuvada Pradeepa book gives this information in a very simple manner. Very less points are covered. I am trying to give you a little more, but I am not saying I am doing it exhaustively. Please give me some place. Please give yourself some chance to grow up. I don't want to make it too difficult for you. Neither I want to make it too simple for you. The more the points you learn, the more benefit you will get. If you are looking for the exams, then your book is enough. Whatever your book gives, you can just read and appear for the exam. But if you want to learn language through the Misha, through the what you called as Misha is a Telugu word for pretext. If you want to learn the language under the pretext of giving the exam, then you are in the right place. If you want to just give the exam under the pretext of learning language, then the book is enough. I don't say don't come to the class, but I will definitely tell, please, you will not enjoy this class if you are only looking for exam. The language aspects are very important in two contexts. One is our cultural heritage. We have to stand by that. We have to stand that the language should not be afraid of us. Oh, this fellow is learning me. This he will make kuni. In Telugu, kuni we say kuni means murder. He will murder me. Okay, so I will not enter his mouth. The language will stay away. This is one part. Second part is we are trying to do lot of translation works. We were bringing lot of things from English, Telugu, Hindi and all of that stuff into Sanskritam under the pretext of learning again. And we are thinking that we are speaking Sanskritam, which is not true. That is why beware of the language aspects separately. Then you will not have any confusion. Oh, this is the, if I say any idiom, then you will, like I'll say something like to beat about the bush, to beat about the bush, beat around the bush, whatever. Okay. So such sayings, if I directly translate into Sanskritam, you will definitely recognize them. Oh, this is an English expression she is saying in Sanskritam. But if I use some idioms like get well, get well. Get well means Kupi, Kupa. Okay. So Kupam, Prapa. Kupam, get the Labhasva. Okay, Kupam Labhasva. Wonderful. Nice translation. Now, how will you differentiate what I'm trying to say? Until you have a context, you have a Sandarbha, then only you'll make out, oh, this is not Kupa he's saying. He's talking of getting well means getting to Aragya Swastho Bhava. He means Swastho Bhava. So these kinds of things are very, very important to make that is why you have to learn. You don't have any choice. And next point is, it is very, very deeply, very clearly explained in Sanskritam. Take an advantage of it. Once you are into Sanskritam, she is the oldest language. There is no argument about it. She is the oldest language available. So every theory is very richly expressed in her. But I don't stop you from observing other languages, from comparing her with other languages, from trying to taking the advantage of, applying Sanskrit rules to other language rules to Sanskrit. To some extent, it will be very interesting job. Now let us see what is a Vibhakti and Karaka. Vibhakti is a Pratyaya. Pratyayaha parascha. The pratyaya always happens on the right side of whatever base that we are attaching it to. Pratyayas are many, many kinds, not one kind. And Vibhakti is a kind of supapratyaya which is added to nominal basis. I'll come to that. And it's a pada amsha. It's not a pada in itself. For example, if I say smat smin, smat is a panchami vibhakti pratyaya for the sarvanamas. That is a pada amsha. That's not a complete pada, but it's a pada amsha, a small bit of a word. We can call it a wordlet. Okay, wordlet, small bujji word, small word. Okay, so that is a part of a word. We can say word part, some part of a word. It's a suppa pratyaya which is attached to pratipadikas and it is on the anta of the pratipadika. It is there. then it is on the right side of the prakriti. It can be any prakriti. The dhatu prakriti also can make a pratipadika. Krit, tadhita, samasascha, etc. Okay, so once the this so it is on the on the right side of the prakriti, and okay, we'll don't go to sanadyanta dhatava, all that things we need not wonder. So there are some pratyayas which join to a dhatu and make it a pratipadika, and later these supratyayas come, and there are like 7 plus 1 vibhaktis. Never call them 8. This is another good thing that uh, you have to practice. You have to recognize and acknowledge. Okay. So never say there are 8 vibhaktis. Panini never said 8 vibhaktis. He said 7 vibhaktis. Sambodhana is one of the kinds of Prathama vibhakti only. It has a name. It doesn't have a number. That is the point to be noted. When if there were 8 vibhaktis, why is it not called Ashtami vibhakti? Ashtami, where there is no Ashtami. There is Saptami vibhakti only. They are all numbered. But Sambodhana is named. That is another aspect. So always call it 7 plus 1. Sapta Eka. That's all. Any time, at any given time, don't call them 8 vibhaktis. They are 7 plus 1 vibhaktis. Because some places like Sarvanamas don't have Sambodhana. I will never say, oh he, oh she, oh it. I will never say. The Sambodhana is not there for Sarvanamas. So they are only for all practical purposes, Sapta vibhaktis only. In the Sambodhana also, for one practical aspect, I will tell you, the Ekavachanam will always be a little different. But the Dvivachanam and Bahuvachanam, every time they are mapping with the Prathama Vibhakti only. This is universal point. In any Pratipadikam, whichever accepts the Sambodhana Vibhakti, this fellow is going to be same for all the cases, all the words, all the Pratipadikas, Dvivachana, Bahuvachana. So only the Ekavachana will be a little different. For that, you need not make it a special Vibhakti. The Sutram X plus Y is equal to Padam. Padam is equal to Prakriti plus Pratyaya. So here Prakriti is Pratipadikam and Vibhakti is a Pratyaya. That makes it a Nama Padam. So Padam is equal to Prakriti plus Pratyaya and Nama Padam is equal to Pratipadikam plus Vibhakti. This is a formula you have to remember all your life. All your Sanskritam life must bear this as a breath. Like the Shwasa. Like you intake, like you exhale, and then it becomes our life. Like that, X is inhalation, Y is exhalation. That makes the life possible. So that makes the Nama Padam the retention. The oxygen goes inside and works. So this is the oxygen principle for the language. Let the language breathe through this Prakriti Pratyaya Vibhaga. Now, the Vibhaktis are all named by Panini, like Svaujasam out, Svajasa I said. Oh my, Svaujasam out, Su-aujas, isn't it? So I'll just correct it. Give me a moment. Svaujasam out, yes. Anything else to change? Yeah, here I want to add Padam. Okay. Svaujasam out, yes, amouchas, tabhyam, bhisnebhyam, yes, etc. Vibhakti is two kinds, Karaka Vibhakti and Karaketara. Here starts my humble contribution. Excuse me for using that. I don't even ask for excuse in another way because I want to put a line here. Shastra gives this as Upapada Vibhakti, Karaka Vibhakti, but I was really confused by Upapada word. So I coined Karaketara. Vibhakti talks of two aspects. One is Karaka aspect, one is non-Karaka aspect. Let it be Upapada, Upartha or whatever. Itara also, sometimes other also are there, not just Upapada and Upa-artha. So Artha based is also there. I don't know, they have just for Not a completeness, but just for a mention, they said Upapada. But I think Shastrakaras realized this point. That's why to make it just clear for students, this is my, please don't confuse it with Shastric idea. This is not a Shastric idea, but I have coined it Karaka Karaketara. If you like, you can use it. Otherwise, just drop it. Stick to Karaka Vibhakti, Upapada Vibhakti, which is very Shastric and very coming from the Parampara. So Karaketara is Trividha. Itara we will see. I don't yet have anything in my mind when I write Itara. There must be something I'll come to that. This is not, and one more thing. This is not an exhaustive class on Karaka theory. Otherwise, we would have Siddhanta Kaumudi lesson very happily. But I don't want that to happen. Just not to scare you off. I don't want to scare you people off. So this is just all what is basically needed. All whatever is basically needed from that theory, the Karaka theory from the Kaumudi or the Ashtadhyayi, we are trying to pick up those practical aspects and apply to our language. So this is somewhere in between, okay, the Shastra and the practical approach. Then the Kriya and the Namapada are connected. Now, how do we connect? I wanted to give you a beautiful example also, but my idea is not to explain the Vibhakti concept because you all know it. It is not just to make the class attractive, interesting, and very, like little kids, playing music, showing something on the screen will, wow, this teacher is so nice, they'll think. No, not for that feeling I'm teaching. I want to do justice to whatever level your book has given to put more ideas into the same line, into the same idea, expanding it a little bit. So that's why I'm not going into all that. But I will want to tell one thing. Kriya is the verb. They say dhaturupa. Don't call it dhaturupa, it's a kriya. The kriya padam has got all the information. It's like a watcher. Okay, he is the watchman. The kriya is the watch person. He's very watchful. Kriya knows karta, karma, karana, sampradana, apadana, adhikarana. Kriya knows everyone. All the 6 people Kriya knows. So कॉलर पकड़ो, बताओ कहाँ है करता, पठति, कहाँ पठति, बाला पठति भाई, किम पठति, पुस्तकम पठति भाई, केन पठति, चक्षुषा पठति भाई. Okay, then and more such like adhikaranam, kutra पठति, गृहे पठति. Okay, so all the points. So kasmat is, you can, that karaka is like, we can say like say hetu also we can take. It's not direct karaka, but we can give some tadarthya, some hetu, something like that. It will come. It will be okay. So this kind of pathati, having the knowledge of the karta, karma, sampradana, apadana, karana, etc., is a very pivot point, very balanced, where everything is balanced. Okay, this is like you have seen the seesaw. You have seen the seesaw, it's like this. So that is like going like this. So in the center point, that's the pivot point where it is balanced. So this karaka is the idea which is connecting the namapadam to the kriya. That is karaka. Okay, that is the karaka bhava. We'll come to that. You will understand it. If you did not understand it yet, we'll come with examples. So we can take like Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. My favorite example, Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. Rama doesn't go to Vana, there is no Ramayana. There is no Ravana killing. What to do? So Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. We have to send him. बेचारे को जाना ही पड़ेगा. ठीक है? तो गच्छति. कहाँ गच्छति? Rama गच्छति. Putra गच्छति. Vanam गच्छति. Kim adhikrita. मतलब the gantavya place is karma. That is why. Kena गच्छति. Maybe rathena गच्छति. Like no, padai padabhyam गच्छति. Whatever. So that places are all like karaka places. Okay, so their kriya connection is there. That is, such connections are numbered in Sanskritam with names. Like we have Prathama Vibhakti, Dvitiya Vibhakti, Tritiya Vibhakti until Saptami. But we have the karakas named as Prathama Karakam, Prathamam Karakam, Dvitiyam Karakam, Tritiyam Karakam. Why is it not so? I thought about it. Did you people think about it? Why are karakas named? Why are vibhaktis not named but numbered? Because Vibhaktis express more than one idea. Karakas express one idea. Except Karanakaraka, even Karanakaraka is only one idea. So all these are one ideas. Karta is agent, Karma is the object, Karanam is the instrument, Sampradhanam is the, we'll call it, what's called, the dative case, and ablative, then we have locative. Possessive is not a Karaka. So in English, we have the cases named. Okay? We have the cases named, but we don't have anything for Karaka. Okay? So this is where Sanskrit becomes unique. Sanskritam has recognized the culture, the Sanskrita Bhasha people have recognized 6 such relations possible. There are more, of course. In other languages, I have seen there are something which are not existent in Sanskritam. They are there. I saw them. There are sometimes 8 to 9 vibhaktis are also there. So what that language chooses and puts as a vibhakti is up to them. I don't know how to challenge it or how to understand it or how to advocate it. I don't know how to support it. But I am concerned with Sanskritam. We are learning Sanskritam. Let's not wonder about other things, whether they are possible in Sanskritam or not. अरे जो है वो सीखेंगे यार, इतने से ही बहुत बड़ा घपला हो रहा है. Why wonder? So let them be 6 for all practical purposes. Okay. Then the Karakam, what is the difference between Karakam and Vibhakti is a very, 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 very basic question and a senior most question. This question has multiple levels of answer, but I will try to stick to one single sentence that Karakam is understood inside and Vibhakti expresses it. Vibhakti is something that we hear, see and read, but the Karakam is only understood. For example, in English, there is no marker for either agent or object. So Rama killed Ravana. This is a very, very, very powerful example which can show you that killed is the one which decides who will be Karta and who will be Karma. If the word exists on the left of killed, it comes before killed, it becomes Karta. If it comes after killed, it becomes Karma. So Rama killed Ravana. Many of you will understand, those who ever know English, we know English better than our native languages, isn't it? Our mother tongues. We better know English. I know that. So Rama killed Ravana. Ravana becomes an object by the place sense. If we reverse it, what happens? The whole Srishti falls off because Rama is the Vigrahavan of the Dharma. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. Now if they exchange places, what will happen? The whole Srishti will fall off without Dharma. अरे कलयुग में एक पैर से चल रहा है बेचारा, वो भी खत्म हो जाएगा. ठीक है? So this is that big danger in having no marker. So that place decides something and still English language is existing. It's okay for English. We don't have Rama and Ravana in English. We don't have Ramayana in English. It is हमारा धरोहर है वो. ठीक है? That is our heritage. That is not their heritage. They will not have any problem. But believe me, there was, I was reading in one book, in our course book only, it was written that in Bible, in old Bible, there is a mention of marking of objective case. I think I told you this because Peter is the word. He uses the exact one, Petram. So he saw Peter. That's what we'll say. But in the Bible, it's saying Petram. Petram. So will mark the Dvitya Vibhakti. I was very, very thrilled by reading that. Even in Sanskritam, we have Ramam. Rama and Ramam. Ramam Shyamala Megha Komala Ruchim. So Ramam. Okay. Rakendu Bimbananam. Okay. So people without knowing why the is there, pata nahi kya kya. So Shivaya is a Chaturthi. We must have listened to some Hindi songs they are coming. They just make any Vibhakti just like that. Because they are not aware. They don't know Sanskritam. They don't know Shivaya means for Shiva. Okay. So they don't even have namaha at the end of something. It goes on like that. So anyway, so we'll come back to our. In this, English has also got a very old, in the old English, Anglo-Saxon or somewhere around, when the English was developing, the Bible, whenever it was like published, this is a usage. The was a marker. Now, in the absence of marker, the place will decide the case. Then it will be very difficult. Now, in Sanskritam, we don't have that problem. But what happened in the thing of Rama killed Ravana, like Ravana becomes the object in your mind. In your mind, even without Ravanam, Rama killed Ravanam. I did not say that. But still, it was understood by you that one who is killed is Ravana, one who is killing is Rama. So this agent, neither agent has a marker nor object has a marker. Something which tells you that this is this vibhakti, but you understood it. That kind of understanding is karakam, and this padartha is the vibhakti. This is the difference between both of them. For new people, this is very, very, very useful. This will be very important. But those who already know can just make a note of it that this is how you can express the difference between both of them. Okay. Now, what are the vibhakti lakshanas? What are the different characteristics of a vibhakti? So, the namapada and kriyapada madhye anubandham yapayati. So, it shows the relation between the two namapadas. Sorry, namapada and the kriyapada. Like dvitiya. So Ramah Nagaram Gachati. So Nagaram, or Ramah Ayodhyam Gachati. Ayodhya is Strilinga, Ekavachana, Prathama Vibhakti. Ayodhyam, the Dvitiya Vibhakti, Ekavachana. So like that. Gachati. So Gachati. Kutra Ayodhyam Gachati. Kam Gachati, Ayodhyam Gachati. Athava, it is also that when we talk of Shashti Vibhakti, it is also the two Namapadas are also related. Okay, Shashti Vibhakti will show you that thing directly. But let me tell you all that even Tritiya Vibhakti can do it. Even Chaturthi Vibhakti can do it. अरे कैसे? है ना अपने पास कारकेतर विभक्ति, है ना? We have the कारकेतर विभक्ति, right? सहयुक्ते अप्रधाने नमः स्वस्ति स्वाहा, like Shivaya Namaha, isn't it? So these things will tell you relation between two namapadas. Okay, so Shashti is a non-karaka thing which is very clear. Ayodhyayaha Raja, Ramasya Pita. You don't have any kind of asti is also not important. We don't have any requirement of the kriya. If you ask the kriya, kutra gacchati, kaha gacchati, kasya gacchati. Kasya gacchati is not a good question, isn't it? Kaha gacchati, Ramah gacchati. Kutra gacchati, kim gacchati, Ramam gacchati, kam gacchati, Gramam gacchati. Let's not take gacchati, let's take patati, then pustakam, grantham. Yeah, we can have grantham. Ramah grantham patati. So, kam patati, grantham patati. Granthaha is a pumlinga. That is why I took grantha. Okay. Then, kena patati, like nayanabhyam patati. He reads with the help of his eyes. Or whatever. Then this way the kriya will be connected. But if I say Ramasya Pita Pustakam Patati, Ramasya Pita Pustakam Patati, Grantham Patati. Now Patati, Kaha Patati, Ramasya Pita Patati means Pita is reading. Kasya Pita, Ramasya Pita, not Kasya Patati. No answer. Kasya Patati is not a question at all. So that is where they both become the related. Then the vibhaktis are noted by the number like prathama, dvitiya, etc. And There are like many like vibhaktis, sometimes multiple vibhaktis telling one idea. How? I will tell you an example. Hetu. Hetu is like, okay, tasmat, kena hetuna. Okay, so kasmai hetave. So almost all vibhaktis come for that except karta and karma, I think. So kena hetuna, kasmai hetave, tasmat hetoho, kasya hetoho. So all these like they are hetu almost, yeah. Then we have one more was there. Not saha. Saha always takes tritiya only. There are several these things which take multiple vibhaktis. Saptami, somewhere there are like, I will come to that. Okay. So I didn't have the prepared example. This is one example I wanted to give you. So sometimes, I will tell you. Yes. Gachati, gramam gachati. Gramam gachati. There is one more prayoga. Gramaya gachati. Gramaya gachati. Then the vivaksha changes. Now, what is vivaksha? I did not mention it here as a point, but I'll explain to you. Vivaksha is the intention of the speaker. Okay. So, intention of the speaker by which we can decide the vibhakti usage. Okay. The usage of the vibhakti, which vibhakti should we do the prayoga, is given by the intention of the speaker. Sometimes it marks. But see, if I want to say gramam gachati, it's okay. Gramaya gachati, it's okay. Grame gachati is also okay. But gramasya gachati is not okay. Gramena gachati is not okay. Okay. So gramat gachati will have its own sense, like the panchami. From sense will be gramat gachati. But I want to say to the village. He goes to the village. He is like, can be expressed in three karakas, three vibhaktis. So that is how. For one single idea, if there is an intention of the speaker, which the speaker wants to mark very clearly. So there are several examples given in Shastra. I don't want to go into all those depths. For now, just understand this. So gramam gachati, gramaya gachati, grame gachati, all the three are valid. Now, the Shashti doesn't have karakatva, okay? The Shashti Vibhakti will not have karakatvam because it is non-karaka. It's not related to kriya. The kriya establishment of a anubandha with the kriya is not possible for Shashti. Hindi people, I have read about that. I mean, somebody was saying, "Arey, Hindi mein Shashti bhi karak hai." They said, "Don't count Hindi, please. They are going in a different direction." But hum log, we don't say. We Sanskrit people don't accept Shashti as karaka. Try to establish. But there is one area where this karakatva happens to Shashti also. Sometimes I have to like check with, I don't have my personal study very deep on this. But as I understand it, I am putting it. Sometimes Shashti is used in the sense of karta and karma. So karta and karma is karakas only, na? So there again, the Shashti Vibhakti has 100 senses. Shatam. Ekashatam Shashti Arthaha. Out of that, sometimes it is also used for karta and karma. But even that will not make it valid as a karaka because it is not always representing them. Okay. Where it is occurring, you can just take it and leave it. Don't worry about rest of the things. For all practical purposes, Shashti is not karaka. Then, the anubandha between the karaka and vibhakti. Now we have spoken about the anubandha between kriya pada and nama pada. That is decided as karaka relation. We have discussed about the relation between two nama padas and we established Shashti for that. Now, what is the internal Anubandha between Karaka and Vibhakti? That is Nishchita. Now, we have seen that Karaka is 6 kinds, isn't it? Each Vibhakti from the 7 plus 1 will be representing the 6 Karakas except the Shashti. Okay, except the Shashti. I think for this is like just occurring, I am telling you this thing. I'm not establishing it as this thing, but I have asked my professor one doubt. Why is like there is Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, etc. Shashti and Saptami. Why is a non-Karaka coming in between the list of the Karakas? Like if we, that I'll tell you now. The Karta will take Prathama and Tritiya, Karmarthe Dvitiya, कर्मार्थे द्वितीय, करणार्थे तृतीय, संप्रदाने चतुर्थी, अपादानार्थे पंचमी, अधिकरणार्थे सप्तमी. Okay. Now, this Panchami, after we are jumping to Saptami, this was my place where I said, why is Shashti as a non-Karaka noted in between these Vibhaktis? What occurs to me right now is, like that Vibhakti had developed before Karaka. First Vibhaktis came because they are visible in a language. Isn't it? When we are studying a language from a this is the first time I am telling this point, just now it occurred. When somebody is studying a language, they are seeing the markers, isn't it? After seeing the markers, they'll try to make the relation names. So they came later. Okay, they came later. What is being marked by each Vibhakti? I don't know. I have to check with again. Again, I will check. I'm not saying this is a final answer. Something what occurs to me, I'm just sharing as a point. Don't make it a very like, this is an important point. No, this is not important point. Just a thought, a passing thought. Maybe. So when they try to establish and attach each Vibhakti with a Karaka, then they saw that Shashti is not fitting into the Karaka. The usages of Shashti scattered in the language. When Panini Maharshi tried to accumulate all that and saw that Shashti has become a non-Karaka. Maybe, we don't know. We should become Panini in order to understand all this. Okay. So this is all I have prepared the slides. And after this, I thought of showing you directly the after text because it's written long back. I think it is copyright acceptable. I think it is good that students should get an exposure to such a wonderful author like Apte. Okay. We are very indebted to him. We should always try to read that book and make knowledge. I wanted to make slides. I'm really sorry that my time and my energy did not permit it. Otherwise, and I cannot make it if I translate it to Sanskritam or if I want to simplify that, I cannot do justice to the expressions that the author wants to give you. And believe me, the number of classes in these series, like to teach your lessons, we need only 11 lessons as I told. One day we will read out the book, then we will do the exercises, half. Done. Your lessons are done. They are so small, so little. But what I thought was, let me at least introduce you to these things. You will read it yourself. They are not unintelligible. They are really very super friendly to the students. Apte uses a very high-class language, but still he makes sure that the students will understand this. And the student will develop a deep love and reach to the language. Okay. So before I can go and start with this lesson, for those who do not know Apte, let me introduce to him at least one salute. To padega inko dena padega. We always salute the army for doing the rakshanam of the border, but we never care for the scholars who did the rakshanam of the shastra. They are all like those army people. So there are at least 2 questions in the question and answers, and I read them. I just did not wanted to answer at that time. So this is the book name, sirs. The Student's Guide to Sanskrit Composition is the book name. It is downloadable, but I will share it to you. And Karakam book also will tell you, ji. That is also, I will show you Karaka Tattvanu-Sheelan. But it is in Hindi. I will show you that book also. So this is the Apte book, Nalini ji. Okay. So this you can note it. In that book, if you see the, even if you look at the index, it is so alluring. It is so systematically arranged. I don't even leave prefaces. Please read prefaces of the books there. They tell so many stories about that book. All the prana of that book is in the preface. How the author worked. Anytime, any author, they always have a big or small story to tell. Every time go through that before you want to use the book. Any book. Always have time for the prefaces and indexes. So, preface panditah kechit indexu panditah. I am that. Okay. So somebody was saying, somebody just go through prefaces and indexes, tables of content, and they become scholars. I am the one. Okay. If you consider me as a scholar, that's exactly what I did. Okay. He was making a derogatory note. One great scholar was making a derogatory note. Even without opening the books, they become scholars. Yes, you can become. There are some authors who can make you scholars just by their prefaces, just by their forewords, just by their tables of contents. This is a very interesting book where many aspects of Sanskrit composition are covered. I think this is unique in its own approach of the subject. I don't know any such book in other languages like Telugu, Hindi. I didn't come across. This book is translated into Hindi. Okay, this is also available in Hindi. You can say Apte Composition Hindi. I have both the books. I will send. Don't worry. I will send the PDF. Just give me some more time. I will send. So when you go through this, the arrangement of the book, how he introduces, the once you know about any language, okay, then it's very, very, very interesting to see the kind of, the different languages inputs and that approach to Sanskritam makes it fresh. So somebody looking at Sanskritam from only Sanskritam scholars, Sanskritam, these things is one kind where you will have the purity of the thought. But on the second side, when you are knowledgeable about other languages and you are applying that to Sanskritam, it becomes interesting because you are understanding Sanskrit's depth through other language depth, because Sanskrit is very deep. No other language terms can do justice to Sanskrit terms. But if you can bring such terms from other languages, it also helps the other language to grow and Sanskritam to become a little more understandable for people. So concord means the agreement, what you called as going together. Subject and verb go together. For example, Ramaha gacchati, Ramau gacchataha, Ramaha gacchanti. So the vachana changes. Subject and verb agree in number. Okay, that is one thing. And number and person, agree in person. So aham gacchami, tvam gacchasi, saha gacchati. So that kind of things are explained in this. Then substantive and the adjective, that is the visheshana visheshya bhava. This is the point where I hate, H-A-T-E, hate, in all its 100% of the combination to the power of the number of letters. To the power of the number of letters, I hate them because they do not acknowledge this point. It exists in Sarvanamas, it exists in Visheshana Visheshya Bhava. Visheshana Visheshya Bhava exists in Namapada Visheshana. Sarvanama and Namapada. And then this one, Sankhya and Namapada. It agrees in Kritantas and Namapada. And then where not? The Samasa Padas, once they become Pratipada, they have to go. They have to go by the Namapada only. Okay, so this agreement people forget. Yallingam yadvachanam yacha vibhaktir visheshyasya tallingam tadvachanam sacha vibhaktir visheshanasyapi. So all this involves the vibhakti. Don't think that I have gone into the book and I am explaining you the book. No, I am still on the subject. So this is where the usage of vibhakti becomes very important. You must know the anta, lalinga of the pratipadikam to use the right vibhakti. At least, okay. So this is one challenge, one side of the challenge. But our lesson is going in another direction. We are more on the internally expressed, the idea expressed by the vibhakti, not the forms, but the concept that where it is applied, we are going to learn. But this he gives as part 1, the concord of relative and its antonyms. Please read, please go through all the parts. Each point 5 times you read. For the first 2 lessons, sorry, each point 5 times you read. I will see, why will you not use correct Sanskritam words? I will see, I will put a case. If the Sanskritam will not come to you correctly, I will put a case on Sanskritam. Okay, that wonderful book, that wonderful points are there. Always go to that. Okay, then. Now, our interest lesson is this. Even if I give directions, sirs and madams and bhaginis and bhratas, sodaras and sodarimanis, to everyone, my request is, please don't expect that I can complete all this in these 3 lessons that I have put for Vibhakti Viparyaya. Only 2 actually, maybe 2.5. Maybe 2.5, because in the last we'll have exercise, we can do it quickly. But then I want to cover all the concepts for you people. Let me see if I can do it. Even if I can read fast. See how many number of pages it is. It starts at 15 and ends at 60 plus like 100. So all these are the government means how the cases are working. For example, I know that my very pet example is, only that comes to my mind. I'm very sorry. I'm very rich with examples, but they always happen out of class. So excuse me for that. But still it will help you. Avanu manege hoguttane. Avanu manege hoguttane. In Kannada, this means he goes to the house. He goes to the house. In English, you go to the house, but in Kannada, you go for the house. Ask them. Ge means it is Chaturthi Vibhakti. So you go for the house, but they say to only when they translate. And in Telugu, Intiki is Shashti. So I go intiki veltanu. He goes to the house. Atanu intiki veltadu. And in Kannada it is manege, Chaturthi Vibhakti. Intinnu, I cannot say annu. Annu is Dvitiya Vibhakti. I cannot say mane annu hoguttane. It will be very absurd. Hey, what are you speaking? This is not Kannada. This is something else. So in the same way, the Karaka expression and Sahayukte Aparadhane also like it is like Trutiya in Sanskritam and Trutiya in Telugu. But in one language, I saw it differently. I now don't remember it. So one more thing is like, I have such examples. I'll try to post. If I'll find them, I'll post in the group, okay? Or I'll tell in the next lesson. I'll try to find them. I have noted them all in one place. I didn't find that file. I will try to find it. So such places, you need lot of clarity. You need lot of unique thinking where you can mark that difference. You can mark that vibhakti usage in different languages. So, lon lopalan in Telugu is a very interesting case where lon lopalan is also Shashti, is also Saptami. Okay. So it is of like 2 kinds. For all Telugu people, it will be intelligible. For all others, you can just try to compare and try to understand. Intilo undi. There is something inside the house, a person or somebody, some lady inside the house. Intilo undi. Here it is Saptami actually. Intilo, lon lopali is Saptami here. Because inside the house, in the house is Andu nan actually. Inti Andu we should say, but instead of Andu we are saying lo. Now, when I say Varilo Ramudu Manchivadu, Rajulallo Ramudu Manchivadu, that means inside, among the kings, among. Here lo becomes among. Nirdharana. We studied about Nirdharana. So that things are unique to each language. Now lo is working as Shashti Nirdharanam also and Saptami Nirdharanam and Adhikaranam also. So this is the way the Vibhaktis are related to each other. So this I know, mujhe pata hai, मुझको जानना है, देर मुझको इज कर्ता, ठीक है। एंड मेनी सच places are very interesting to study. So in Sanskritam they have marked, for example, like always we go by bandi mida. Yeah, this was one example. We go bandi mida వెళ్తాం. Bandi means here, bandi means any like vehicle. So vehicle mida, they say on a vehicle. Okay. So that is actually mida is adhikaranam in Telugu. I go by a vehicle. That is English. Okay. By a vehicle. I go by bus. By bus. Okay. By, how will you go? I'll go by bus. I'll go by walk. So that by is a Trutiya marker. It marks Trutiya. In the same way, Sanskritam marks the yanena gacchati, rathena gacchati, padabhyam gacchati. So that kind of things. But in Telugu, nadaka meeda veltanu, you will not say. It's a nadichi veltanu. That nadichi will directly use it. That kind of usage is like twa usage kind of. That in Telugu, it's a different case anyway. So where cases are involved, you please try to compare and contrast with. My intention is only to give you an idea of this. Okay, so we will go to, we have a few more like minutes, 4 more minutes. I can't take questions today, but I will definitely give you an insight in this book and we will discuss in the next class. Okay. Now, the way he puts this, I will tell about the structure of this lesson, of this book, and then I will close. Here, he is like each case he takes. Not, he doesn't take the Prathama Vibhakti, he starts from the Dvitiya Vibhakti. The Prathama is all covered in the first 2 lessons only. Here, he starts with accusative. Now, he uses with the one drawback with English books that introduce Sanskrit is they'll use lot of English terms. For those who are not very like comfortable with English or grammatical terms, they will really suffer a lot. But if you are comfortable with that, or you can ask me. You can ask me what that accusative mean. I will try to send you one. I have prepared one document where the English and Sanskrit terms are like I made a equal to and both the terms, index of it. I will send that to you. Then that will be useful. And he puts most of them in Devanagari only. He doesn't use IAST. That is one beautiful thing this fellow has done. Okay. Now, we now come to government, the second general principle regulating the grammatical union of the words in sentences. Government is the power which a word has to regulate the case of a noun or pronoun. So, case, he's talking, government means case. The lessons in this part are intended to explain and illustrate this power. Karaka is the name. This is what he explains everything which I have told and some more things. Genitive is not Karaka, etc. According to Panini, Pratipadikartha Linga Parimana Vachanamatre Prathama, the nominative is used to denote the crude form or a base of a word, gender, measure, number, and only. So, all these words are Prathama. Several indeclinable words govern nouns in one or another of the Karaka cases, and such cases then are called Upapada Vibhakti. So, there are some indeclinable words like Namaha, Swasti, etc., which like Namo Nrsimhaya, Antarantarena Yukte, etc. So he will explain that. Now, this is the Kartur Ipsatatamam Karma that he explains in this paragraph. Okay. Then he talks of, this is very important. I didn't find such explanations in other books which I have read. This is really very deep point that somebody who has depth can only understand. So verb signifying to name, to choose, to make, to appoint, to call, to know, to consider, and the like, govern a factative or indirect object besides a direct object. Such a powerful, he makes the sentences in such a way that the idea comes to you. Now, Janami tvam prakriti purusham. This I could explain to one person just because I had read in this book. He said, how is Dvitiya possible? Here, there's a big discussion that was going on. I said, this is how it works. So you see, Janami tvam. Ninnu prakriti purushuni ga telusukuntunnanu. So in Telugu we use ga. ठीक है, मैं तुम्हें प्रकृति पुरुष के रूप में जानता हूं. तो के रूप में, you are doing it in Hindi. Now these people, what they do, they reverse it and K root may they bring to Sanskrit. Whereas the Dvitiya will directly help him, or whatever Vibhakti, they will help you. So, but the nouns, the verbs are very important. He didn't give them all in Sanskritam. So you can find to name, and okay, to name, to choose, chi, chinoti, to make, kr, karoti. He makes one boy as Rama, maybe in the dress competition, fancy dress. So he makes boy as Rama. So such will take Saha Balam Ramam Karoti. So in that the crew is there. I'm just trying to tell you how the book is designed. You can go through these points before Adishing Sthasam Karma. Directly is giving the sutras only. No doubt about it. If some of you know the Karaka Prakaranam, you will enjoy this book like anything. It will be a very good summary point for you. And for those who are very new, those who do not know Karaka Prakaranam also, need not worry. They just drop out these sutras. They just can leave. Ubhayataha sarvataha dhi. But the thing is, he has mixed all the Karaka ideas and but he has placed them like first Karaka idea, then Vibhakti idea. First Karaka idea, then Vibhakti idea. Just go through this book as much as possible. After some time, I will send. After 12:30 p.m., I will send. I have something else to attend. That's why after that, I will send this book to you. So excuse me for today. I'll take all the doubts on the next class, or you can send me direct personal messages or in the. Shubhamastu to you all. Harihi Om. Namo Namaha.